A North Korean soldier, fed up with Kim Jong-un's policies, is rapidly driving a jeep, attempting to cross the border. He knows he might either be killed or at least severely injured. Why would someone take such a drastic step? We'll discuss this later, but first, let's understand why North Korea is considered the world's largest prison and why escaping from it is nearly impossible. Leaving North Korea without permission is seen as treason by Kim Jong-un, punishable by life imprisonment or death. Even moving between provinces within North Korea without permission is a crime. Almost every organization agrees that North Korea has the worst human rights record in the world. All men are required to serve in the North Korean military for at least 10 years. There is no free speech, and all media is state-controlled. North Korea is the only country where relatives of someone who commits a crime are also punished. In 2009, a 2-year-old child was sentenced to life imprisonment because a Bible was found in his parents' possession. Practicing any religion is considered a crime there. It's challenging for outsiders to enter North Korea. Those who do get permission are closely monitored throughout their trip and only shown what the government wants them to see. Foreigners sometimes face deadly consequences for violating local laws, as was the case with Otto Warmbier, a U.S. citizen who visited North Korea in 2015. In 2016, he was arrested for allegedly removing a government propaganda poster from his hotel room, sentenced to 15 years in prison, and later died from injuries sustained in a North Korean prison camp. These examples illustrate why many believe North Korea is a giant prison where people live like slaves despite being free. Escaping North Korea is extremely difficult, partly due to its geography. To the west is the Yellow Sea, and to the east the Sea of Japan, both heavily patrolled by the North Korean Navy, making it impossible for illegal boats to approach. To the south is South Korea, North Korea's enemy, so the waters there are also heavily guarded. The most viable escape route is to South Korea, which considers all North Koreans as its citizens. However, the border is heavily fortified with about 750,000 soldiers, barbed wires, fences, and landmines. In 2017, a North Korean soldier sped towards South Korea in a jeep. When border guards noticed, they chased him and opened fire. He abandoned the jeep and ran towards the border, getting shot several times, but eventually making it to South Korea. Escaping through China or Russia is slightly easier due to lesser military presence, but the 1,300-kilometer border is filled with dangerous mountains and forests. Additionally, North Korea has military alliances with both countries, who typically hand over defectors. Therefore, defectors have to further flee to a safe country like Thailand, Vietnam, or Mongolia, which are more likely to send them to South Korea. Since 1990, about 34,000 North Koreans have successfully fled to South Korea. The situation worsened after the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, leading to a severe crisis in North Korea. Kim Jong-un's rise to power in 2012 saw increased crackdowns on smuggling and defections. He installed signal jammers and surveillance systems along the borders and strengthened military alliances with China and Russia. The COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 made escaping virtually impossible as North Korea closed all borders and imposed strict measures. In North Korea, executions are not by hanging, but by firing squads. Even contacting a relative in South Korea is considered a crime. The world watches but is limited in its ability to intervene due to North Korea's nuclear capabilities, transferred from the Soviet Union. Thus, major powers like the US can only impose sanctions.